him. Become a believer in the one who is our lost soul receiver. There's nobody like him. You've never seen anybody like Jesus. You've never met anybody like him.
Opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
There's been some letters go out for folks in Campbell County about the plan that they have not being available for them next year. And basically Medicare is pulling that plan out of these three counties for this next year. I don't know what the reasoning behind that is, but it does affect a lot of people. And what I can do is I can help you understand what those plans are and how they might work for you, what their options are. That's all I ever do is come to the table with more than one company. I'm an independent agent, and so I don't have to say take one or the other.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to Husqvarna.com for more information.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm.
State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto, and life insurance.
Hi, my name is Linda Kilgore. I'm a State Farm agent in Jacksboro, Tennessee. I have 32 years insurance experience. I have been here in Campbell County for about 21 years. We offer auto, homeowners, life, health, banking, and mutual funds. Come by and let us give you a quote. Doesn't cost you anything. We can answer all your questions and choose the coverage that's right for you.
Or see State Farm agent Ann Gwen Love.
If you need rental insurance, stop by and see me at Linda Kilgore State Farm.
For all your insurance needs, see State Farm agent Linda Kilgore in Jacksboro across from Walmart. 423-566-5000. 566-5000.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to Campbell County Issues. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by True Value Homes. True Value Homes located on Highway 27 and 63 in Huntsville. Folks, you just go up to exit 141, about 19 miles. You can't miss it. 63 comes to an end in at Highway 27, and it's right there. And if you got property, they've got a home for you. And many of you people know Keith Clockfelter. And the telephone number is 423-663-8663. You remember the 663 and know, and when you go to the 4-digit number, it's just 8663. Also, Ron's Golf Carts and Indoor Flea Market. Now, he's got the golf carts and he's got a lot of stuff in the flea market, but folks, you know, the UGG boots, the North Face jackets, he's even got the rain jackets now. And they will all get gone for, you know, especially Christmas is just around the corner. I'd advise you, if you've got looking for some gifts in that category, right now is the time to get down to Ron's Golf Carts. It's located behind Long John Silver's. Well, folks, I don't have anything in particular to talk about tonight at great length except one subject, and I don't know how far that one will go. Might get one call, or might not get any calls, or I could get 15 calls. You know, Judge Salmons, as she was last week, I know that she had been sued for some of the judgments, and she's really stirred the pot big time in Scott County, or Campbell County. But if you all would remember, even the lawyers and everybody out there and the judges is in place, she told you exactly what she's going to do. And it was people questioning her, is she going to really do what she said she's going to do? Can she actually do that? And people was questioning her. Are you going to really be make your judgments? Are you going to be the judge and jury and the prosecutioner? And basically what she said was, and you can go back and look as many times you want to look, she said, God will be my guide. And she even got calls and saying, well, the state laws and the federal laws, don't you have to work within those laws? But all the time, when people would question, she'd come right straight back without any hesitation whatsoever and says, God will be my guide. Now, I think this is super, super important, because right now, what's wrong with our U.S. government is we've got too many people saying God is their guide. You know, how far they're not staying within the laws of America. And they refuse to govern that way. And I see it as a major, major problem. Now, I'm not saying that Judge Salmons is a bad person, but she plainly stated that she would be making some judgments on on her religious faith. She did not hide from that. And I think it's really worth talking about. And you know, I don't know whether Miss Parrott would approve of what I'm getting ready to say or tell. But whenever Miss Salmons, and I like Miss Salmons, I don't have any problem with Miss Salmons, except are you going to use the laws that we have and abide by those until maybe something can be changed? But Miss Parrott, she looked at me and she said, "How do I fight that?" I said, "You can't." She said, "You're right, I can't." And to me, it's really, 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 really dangerous. And that's what's wrong with what's going on in our federal government. I don't think that this guy that they're getting ready to name the Speaker of the House, it may last 3 or 4 months or 5 or 6 months. But next year, you know, 1/3 of the Senate has to run for re-election, and all congressmen have to run for re-election next year. The congressman has to run for re-election every 2 years, and the Senate is every 6 years, and they 1/3 runs this 2 years, another third runs the next 2 years, and another third, and so they serve 6 years before they have to, instead of a 2-year term. And folks, I'd like to hear some of your ideal about Judge Salmons. I mean, she told you what she's going to do. And I guarantee you there'll be more of it. And believe me, I believe a whole lot of it needs to be done, but it's got to be done within the realms of our laws. Judges can't make up laws. And when they do start being able to make up laws, and those laws being in their personal beliefs, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So anyway, it's been a tough day for me. And I prepared somewhat, because one of the things that I was going to talk about until I seen that the judgment had come down from Judge McElwee. Now, Judge McElwee, he defied some of the court orders himself whenever he was elected. And he basically said, you know, he said, I carry my religious beliefs right here on my shoulder. I'm not ashamed to let you know where they're at. And in my courtroom, there will be large letters, 12-inch letters, I believe he said, in my courtroom will say, "In God we trust." I don't have any problem with that. But I do have a problem with judges using their faith in the courtroom if it's not. We're all, regardless of our faith, we're all supposed to be treated equally. And I've been getting a lot of questions about Muslims and saying, to see a lot of people, and Jerry could probably tell you, I mean, he's or Hazel Valley, put it this way. He could probably tell you, but I believe there's somebody sent me an email the other day saying that the Muslims in Dearborn, Michigan, is making a fortress around their place up there, and they're going to have their own little government where they can just make their own rules. Well, that's not the way it's supposed to happen. If that's the truth, then they're an occult. We don't, and America does not support cults. So I don't believe that, don't see it, and because we had a congressman to get killed in the jungles of South America with Jim Jones, the largest mass murderer in the United States history. And we're getting dangerous, folks. It's getting dangerous because we're having it right here in our own courtrooms where people are making, or this judge, no question, she's made judgments based on what she feels that should be happening in our community with people. And I tell you, I don't agree with the people that was in charge of that child, and it's their child. I don't agree with the explanation or reading the story on the woman that left her child in the woods. She said, I was on methamphetamines, and I thought I handed I could hear my father's voice, and I believed I was leaving my child. But then when this all happened, the father, the grandfather called, and that could be my grandchild. Was he involved in any way? The night that the little baby was set out. So, methamphetamines, it does crazy things to you. I had my first cousin, his grandson, or his two grandsons, that lived together. One was about 22, I think. The other was nearly close to 18 years old. And this has been probably 10 years ago. And a lot of you knew those young men's grandfather. He was my first cousin. And with methamphetamines, the young one, he wasn't near as strong as the older one, and the older one was pretty rowdy and mean. The other one was just easy going, everybody, but he on drugs. And let me tell you how this being on drugs, what's some of the things that you can do that you wouldn't do no way in the world. Now this young man's still in the pen. He shot his first cousin, which they were good buddies. He shot him in the head 5 times with a high-powered rifle. You know he was dead the first time he shot him. But because they got into a fight or pushing in a shoving deal or some way. Methamphetamines, he blowed him away 5 times. So it don't do any good to try to tell people don't use it. Something bad's going to happen. You use it, something bad's going to happen. It always does. And you know, I remember back a few years ago, I had these people out of Knoxville to come here and talk to you about methamphetamines before they ever really knew, and the laws weren't ever, you get away with it. They just let you go because, you know, they didn't realize the strength or what the methamphetamines could do to you. And that's when they started to write new laws. Since I've been doing this show right here in Campbell County, it's when all this took place as far as rewriting the laws for methamphetamines. And they found that a user, now there is users that can use it a few times and quit, but someone that continues on it, and whenever they get the sores and their teeth starts falling out, the hair starts falling out, they've gone too far, they're dead. They might as well write their obituary. Because 7 years is the average lifespan. And this young lady, that a good looking woman, when she gets out of jail, and I'd almost bet you that she won't spend much time in jail. Very little. But the children that suffer over this stuff, and they just don't accept responsibility for it. And I'm talking about the users. They think that they can just snort it or whatever they do, and they can just walk away and everything's going to be just fine. It's not going to work. But there's laws to, I guess, to try to prevent it. But you can't write laws for something that you can't control. And that's something you can't control. The only thing we can control with that is try our best to educate our kids and let them see what it can do to people. Now, I had it worked out that where the Sheriff's Department in Scott County had come up with a thing to show on TV and tell you everything that it does to you. And they promised me they would give me a copy of it. And then they changed their mind. And I don't know why they changed their mind, because I wanted to show it here. We showed it one time in Scott County. And then they took it back and wouldn't let me show it no more. I don't know why. Give me a call. We'll talk to you about anything you want to talk about. Like I said, I spent most of this day at the Park West Hospital with, not for me, my wife, and it was nothing, not an emergency situation. It was just something, tests and stuff was going on almost all afternoon, let's put it that way. And I just came from that, came here. I thought about calling Jerry a couple of times and saying, Jerry, will you come on up and do the show for me or with me until I can get on home. But anyway, that's no excuse. So any of you out there that wants to debate any issue, even Hillary Clinton, and this I've seen in the supermarkets where Hillary is going to jail. Now there's a majority of in the Congress, they may try their best to send her to jail, but I learned a lot of things. I don't know where any of you did or not. I learned a lot of things listening to, and I listened to probably every bit of that thing except about 35 minutes that I had to go get my grandson, and I come right back and I watched it all. And we keep, and the news media's been saying, that committee has been saying whether she had got 4 people killed. That's crazy. You didn't get no help there. They couldn't get from Tel Aviv to Benghazi in 30 minutes. Not even in a 4-hour period. It'd been very hard, but two of her people were killed. They were, and it was smoke that killed them. It wasn't, they didn't get shot or anything. But 2 of those people were with the CIA. Why didn't they own the CIA and instead of just her? Because 2 of the CIA people were killed. You're on the air.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm really tired.
Really tired. I wanted to make a comment about what was in the paper. You know, my dad had a 4th grade education and my mother had a 7th grade education. She worked in the shirt factory. My dad done construction. They put food on the table. I mean, we didn't have the best, but we never went hungry, and we had a lot of love. But just because somebody is poor does not mean that they don't love their children and they do the best that they can for them.
Okay, I'm understanding a little bit again because some of the words that Miss Salmons had said.
And I mean, there's even attorneys, doctors that were raised poor.
Oh.
And look where they're, I mean,
I understand exactly where you're coming from. I'm going to tell you some stories here in a minute. But I've got other calls start coming in now, and I can tell you some real stories about poor. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You're on the air.
RL?
Yes, sir.
When you get bit by a blue spider, what do you do?
I have no idea.
Okay.
What kind of spider did you get bit with?
I've been bit by a blue spider.
What is that?
It's a brown spider that was like spots on the back of it, I guess. And I'm dying.
Oh, I'll tell you this. If I got bit by a spider or something and it started to swelling bad on me, or a snake, I wouldn't ask some dummy like me. I'd be headed to the doctor.
I might want to head on to the doctor, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah. Somebody's trying to hoodoo me or try. I'm telling you right now, I sure wouldn't call a little dummy like me to ask about a health issue, especially if it was an emergency. Okay, we're going to have to take a break, folks, and I hope when we come back, I can get somebody in here to talk to me about the 11 hours or 9 hours and 55 minutes or whatever it was, where they drill Hillary and they're going to still put her in jail and all this kind of crap. So I'd like to talk about that. We'll be back right after these words from our sponsors.
You know, I talked with a lot of people this week that had that Medicare plan that was going away, and I ended up talking to them a little bit, and I found out that they got the QMB. You know, it's a pink cardboard card that pays your co-pays when you go to your doctor. That pink cardboard card will entitle you to get the extra benefits you hear me talk so much about. And I've run across several people this week that got into their wallet, and lo and behold, they pulled out one of those, and I said, aha, did you know with the pink QMB card in Campbell County, you can get your dental and your vision catalog and a catalog to help you with your over-the-counter products at no cost. And that dental coverage is comprehensive. It's not just your cleanings and checkups.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to husqvarna.com for more information.
Welcome to RaisX. RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
The Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high-output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
All right, folks, we're back. True Value Homes. See, I'm telling you, and I'm not exaggerating it at all. If anything happened to where I had to have a new home or build a new home, I wouldn't have a bit of problem moving into one of those at True Value Homes. I go over looking in some of those, and man, and with the ingenuity and all the things that's been done to strengthen and make those things, I'm telling you, they're just super and look good and built good, and the price is much better than trying to build from ground up. And they can pull it in, set you up in 1 or 2 days when you move in. If you've got your own property, that's your down payment. You just can't beat it. So anyway, they're located in Huntsville at Highway 63 and 27. Keith Klopfeller is the manager there, or owns it, or whatever. But anyway, he's the one I work with. And we've known Keith for quite a while from over here. And I got to know Keith whenever he was running for House representative for this area, whenever Campbell County and Scott County come under the same group. So anyway, give them a call, 663-8633. Also, Ron's Golf Carts and Indoor Flea Market. I've told you about the jackets and stuff and the prices, but if you collect bottles, like Coke bottles, Pepsi bottles, knives, stuff like that, he's got all kinds of that stuff down there. And go by and just check him out, and he's nice, clean. You just want to mill around. And I was just going to tell you about one person, and I don't know that Ron would be upset, but Ron was telling me one day, he and I were sitting and just talking about, you know, how we were raised. But we was raised with love by some people. Now, my mother gave me away whenever I was a little kid, and that was one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life, because she was just unable, or she felt like she was not able or qualified to raise me and my little brother, and she brought us to our grandparents and gave us to them and said, I can't raise them, so she left us with them. When my grandmother and my grandfather, neither one could read or write, and they had 14 kids of their own, and a coal miner. But everything turned out pretty good for me. I was the first one ever to graduate from high school, or even the 8th grade, and on both sides of my family. And went on graduating the 8th grade and high school, and then got me a college degree when I was 43 years old. That's been 30 years ago. But anyway, I would have never been able to do that if my mother hadn't have gave me away. Because none of the kids that she had after me ever achieved a whole lot. They're good people, don't get me wrong, but they basically raised themselves and did fairly well for themselves, because they went up north and worked for Ford Motor Company for 20 or 30 years and stuff like that. But there's another person here in Campbell County. The guy at oh good Lord, Ron's Golf Carts down there. Here's a man that was raised up at Wynn, and his mom and dad had 12 or 13 kids. They lived in a 2-room house. The kids all went to school, and they've all been successful. So there's no excuses. And then I'm going to tell you another story that a young man, now his father did fairly well in their business. I don't know what kind of monies and everything was involved, but I do know this. Even come out of his own mouth the other day, he and I are real good friends. I consider him, if he called me and needed me to, no matter where he would be, and he needed me, and I could get there, I'd get there. That's the kind of friends that we've become down through the years. And he's one of the most successful people in this county. And it's one, maybe in the top 1% of the successful people in this state. You never know it. And out of his own mouth, just a couple of weeks ago, he told me, he said, I was the dumbest student that ever graduated from Norma High School. Now he's, right now I'd say 66, 67 years old. And it's untelling, his worth. So saying that you didn't get a good education, or you didn't get this, you didn't get that, and using it for an excuse, the only thing that's really an excuse is your imagination. What can you do? Look at, I mean, I don't know what Mr. Henson's education background is. I really don't. But I guarantee you he's a successful person because he has a drive. I don't know how he was raised, or I don't know nothing about it. I just know that he's interested, and he hadn't sat around and let his handicap be a deterrent for him to do whatever he wanted to do. I might be talking out of school on this because I truly don't know the full background, but Ann Hester that writes the column every week, hey, I don't know where she got her head. I'd say it's probably in the military, but I wished I could write like she could, or I wished I could even spell. If I could spell and read, I would probably wanted to be a doctor because I had a very, very good IQ, and that's what it takes. And that's one of the reasons why I basically have my Democrat philosophies, most of them. And so help me, when I gave you all these questions a couple of weeks ago, you answered them almost identically the way that I answer them. People out there that gets entitlement monies, like welfare or like food stamps. Folks, if it wasn't for those programs here in America, we'd be giving it away to the Sudan or somewhere. We'd be giving it away. So why not feed our own people? Now, I think that there should be some kind of work or commitment made toward receiving those benefits, because I don't like the idea of a person just being able to sit down and well, here it comes. Why should I go to work for $7.30 an hour when I can sit at the house and draw $9.60 an hour? Because basically that's about the way it works. And the people that knows how to use the system. But again, I think I gave you a couple of good examples why that society has dealt you a bad hand. I don't think society deals a whole lot of people bad. There's some, yes, but not a lot. You make that bad hand yourself. Hello?
Good evening, Mr. Gift.
Are you calling to chew me out for mentioning you?
Oh, no, Hazel Valley will probably call and tell you that I didn't finish the third grade, but I did finish the third grade. You want to have some fun? Seems like it's a little slow tonight.
It is. It's really slow. And, you know, sometimes I like it like this because I get to talk to people and instead of just word or two and say, I'll see you, gotta go. So, what's on your mind?
On the Benghazi hearings with, I don't have the address, whether it be secretary or first lady or whoever, Miss Clinton. It seems to me like that they didn't approach that thing. Of course, I didn't see the entire thing. I only saw the part after work. I saw a couple hours of it or something like that. But in the other parts that you heard, did Hillary, if not there, but somewhere, did she not accept full responsibility for what went on in Benghazi?
Yes, she did.
Okay. I would have liked to have heard one of the senators or whoever was asking her questions to ask her or confirm that she did make that statement. And then I would follow that by saying, do you accept full responsibility for what happened in Benghazi because it was your responsibility? And seeing what her response to that would have been.
I mean, every which way that they went, she did not deny for a second that she'd take responsibility for it. No matter, I mean, they asked some of the stupidest questions I ever heard in my life. You know, the state Secretary of State, under there's 70,000 employees, over 70,000. And this one congressman from Alabama, she asked and asked her, said, do you remember talking to this one in the room where you all were at? And do you remember Miss So? Do you remember this? I mean, she must have asked about 15. And she kept answering her questions. You know, I don't remember this one, or I remember this one, and there was just a lot of people was in. And anyway, she even she said, Miss Clinton said, after a while, once everything we know and everything had calmed down, I went home.
Well, I believe the people were asking questions in order, they were seeking information to get a timeline.
Well, now,
who said what and when.
But the thing about it is, this woman actually said, you went home. She said, yeah. Did you go home alone? She said, yes, I did. Then she said, she said, well, was you there by yourself? And she laughed. She said, yeah, I was there by myself. But here's something that I learned. I'll tell you what I learned about the whole thing. There was 2 people that reported to her that actually lost their lives. There was.
But if we go back, that she states that she accepts full responsibility.
Right.
And she is saying that she was responsible for those deaths.
But she said, you know what? It's the ultimate. No matter what how you say it or what you say, whoever's in charge, the blame lies with them. If it's something that went wrong, and they didn't try to fix it, and she says, yes, something went wrong. Absolutely went wrong.
Okay, she is the top person.
Right.
Now, all of these thousands of employees weren't being communicated with, and some of the other stuff that was brought out in it, but about the fact that the ambassador, and I heard it, well, anyhow, don't let me get off on all sorts.
Oh, it don't make any difference. Go ahead. We got plenty of time.
Anyhow, by her accepting responsibility, then by asking that question, she would have admitted to the fact that the deaths were her responsibility. But that's just.
Well, that's the same way with the George Bush. I mean, how many thousand people were killed because George Bush was the chief? Well, anyway, he was the commander in chief.
Right.
And this George Bush, do we try to blame him for all those thousands of deaths and trillions of dollars? I mean, the thing that I learned is there was 2 people that reported to her that was killed, not 4.
Okay.
Two of those was to the CIA. How come they're not trying to lay the blame on CIA? It's definitely a vendetta against Hillary Clinton. And there's no question about it. Why didn't they go after them? Because 2 of the CIA operatives were actually not even on that compound ground. They were over on the CIA and was killed with mortars or some kind of bazooka or something other. And they didn't report to the Secretary of State. They reported to the CIA.
Okay, now they interviewed 3 or 4 of the 2, maybe 3 of the survivors of that thing. That was there, that was in the actual battle. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they disobeyed orders by going in. They were ordered, if I'm not mistaken, to stand down. But somehow they went in regardless. Now, this battle, according to the statistics or whatever, or the people who were there, said this went on for 13 hours.
Now, what I heard in the statement, that this whole thing, as far as the deaths were done and whatever, was approximately a 1 hour.
Well, the people on the ground, the survivors, they were with two of the other who were.
Well, now they said they were chanting and I guess not. There was no hostilities or anything going on. Whenever the hostilities started, there was about an hour of it, and did you hear how the two people from the died that was in the State Department?
Why they died?
Or how they died?
How they died? I didn't catch that part.
Well, how they? Let me just tell you how they died. We, like I said, we ain't got nobody else. Out in the testimony, how they died was that the people poured diesel fuel on the compound and set it on fire, and they died from smoke inhalation. I can't say the word.
Inhalation.
Yeah, and
smoke inhalation.
Smoke inhalation. That's how they died, and they found the one that was working for the State Department. They found him pretty soon, but it was a couple of hours after that they actually found the ambassador, and she said that, and it was on the record, that he was found by people from Libya and took him to their hospital, and they worked on him for 2 hours trying to revive him.
Okay, now, there was also something in there about blood splatters on the wall and handprints of blood. So now,
I don't recall any of that, and I watched every bit of it.
I may be seeing this from you.
Now the two CIA people that was killed, they were not on that ground. They were killed and was over on the CIA.
Wait a minute now. Okay, they may have been, but they were one of them. No, two of them. Two of these people that lost their lives were on top of the buildings because one of the survivors, he took a pretty good hit to one arm. I believe it was.
Yeah, and that gunfire and stuff, that where they got killed, that CIA, that was they were on a roof of the building, not the Secretary of State's building. They were on the other building because the one at the CIA building was on fire.
But regardless of what building they were on, they were under attack. Where the attack went to wherever they was.
Yes.
Because they were trying to defend. And if I'm not mistaken, somehow they set up to try to have I guess you would call it a crossfire from 3 buildings in 3 different locations. But anyhow.
Yeah. Now you're right there. And okay. And one of the things that she said, we have 270 embassies, and right. We the Secretary of State, regardless of who it was, or if it me or if it was Kerry or if it was all the others in front of her, said whenever it comes to military action, we are not even in that picture at all. Those calls are made by the military, not by me, or it wasn't made by any other, even the general was under Bush.
Well, all the names I don't know about.
Well, you know him, the Secretary of State, Colin Powell. Okay. And anyway, she said, no Secretary of State makes any decisions on deploying anyone to anywhere where that's our military does that, because we don't have they don't have time to come to me and say, can I go here or can I go? That's what they do, is they
these guys I don't know what their status was as far as their military whatever, but one of them stated that when they got the call, that within 30 minutes they were ready to go.
Yes,
and
that was the people.
They were told to stand down.
Yeah, that was the people over in Tripoli. And at Tripoli.
But they could have been there. He said they could have been there, whatever, and they were receiving calls.
Yeah, I think they said they could drive from Tripoli to Benghazi in 4 hours or something.
Yeah, but they could chopper in there a lot quicker.
Yeah, a lot quicker, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but anyhow, they were getting calls from the people who were under fire saying they needed help. And then if you go back before this attack, I believe it's a matter of record of the security had been cut way back, and that the ambassador there was requesting more security. And anyhow, this all gets...
No, I agree with you. I mean, like I say, I wanted to listen to all of it, and I learned a whole lot. And again, like I said, whenever that's one of the reasons why that whenever it's over with, and even the chairman of Mr. Growdy, what he said, you know, I had a bad day because honest, she did make sense about everything she said, but like some of it might have been lies, I don't know. But all I know is...
Now, you know better. Okay.
Now, all I do know is that she did tell them everything, and anytime there's that, and they just kept asking stupid questions for it have been to me. I mean, and something that happened 3 years ago, and I'm going to remember everybody that's in the room. When, like she said, I don't make, and neither does Secretary Kerry, or neither did Colin Powell. The Secretary of State does not make those military decisions like that. The military calls those shots.
Okay. Did anyone ever state, or was it ever said as to where Obama was at during this? Did anybody ever state, I've heard that question asked several times, where was the president at?
Well, now, I remember something about the president, but as far as he was in the loop some way, I don't remember, because it was very, very little or very vague. I mean, it was just as plain to me anyway. I know, because I'm kind of I'm a Bill Clinton fan.
Oh.
No question in my mind, and you all know that.
The Hillary's emails stated that she emailed, or somehow she communicated with her daughter and someone else, and advised her that this was a terrorist attack.
Yes, she said that. She did say.
Now, then the Sunday after, all the news media and whatever that went on the Sunday morning shows, you know what they stated? That it was all about a film.
Right. Okay. And I'll agree with you there. There's no question about it. And I didn't see her cover that up. I might have, because I'm a little bit biased about it, you know.
Well, that's okay. If somebody is not telling the truth, and if you support them firing that or good enough, you can kind of overlook a few little details.
Okay.
But that was not. I would consider that to be very important. That she would say one thing and then try, or they put the story out for the population or the citizens, another story. And having known this was not a true fact.
Mr. Henson.
Yes, Mr. Go ahead.
Stop and think about this just for a second. The Iraq War, especially the second one, I mean, we were told everything, how bad everything was, and how much they knew, absolutely knew positively about destructive weapons, all this and that, and there wasn't any at all.
Okay, I'm running up against heartbreak, so I need to...
I love discussing this, and you're just as right as I am, but
okay. Go ahead.
I love it.
Well, but here's the point, and the point that you just made. If we look at things in a, I don't know exactly, I don't want to say morals, whatever, but if one person or one outfit or whatever being untruthful does not justify other people being untruthful. No.
But why is Clinton so important to the Republican Party that why didn't they go for the man that's over on the other side that is in charge, is not running for president, the CIA, director, because they were right there. Their business was. And why is it all directed at her? They've been after her for 25 years.
Oh, we're getting way back. Do you want me to let you go for a break?
Okay. And if I don't get any calls, call me back.
Okay, okay. And my best to your wife if I don't talk to you.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
You ready to go, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back after these words from our
QMB is designed for folks on a fixed income. It's a state program administered through the same department that administers the TennCare. And it's just a level above TennCare, and it really helps people out.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to husqvarna.com for more information.
Welcome to RaisX. RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Okay, folks, we're back. Again, Ron's Golf Carts and Indoor Flea Markets bringing you tonight's show. You just all go down there and tell Ron that RL sent you. Take you a walk through. I'm not telling you what to buy, but I'll bet you go in there and you look, you're going to buy something. Because you've never seen nothing like it. How clean it is. Everything's priced. You're just not going to get the North Face stuff. He's got the UGG boots, North Face jackets, North Face rain gear, all that stuff, plus the little trinkets and those expensive purses and carrying handbags and stuff. He's got a lot of that. But again, he just has some of that everyday flea market stuff, furniture, golf carts. He's got it. True Value Homes over in Huntsville, and now you see the Tennessee Outdoors, and folks, they just got a nice setup over there for that, and the Husqvarna stuff. Get over and check them out. And Tennessee, the True Value Homes in Huntsville, you can't beat it. You got property, you can set a house on it. Okay, I'm ready to talk about now. One of the things to me, whoever's president, regardless of who it is, when people are working, and it seems to be a happier country. And under Bill Clinton, we had almost, a total capacity of work. You get to a certain level, there's 4 or 5%, well, there's more than that in Scott County, that won't work, I'm telling you. But when you do get a good worker from Scott County, I remember every time one come in to Levi Strauss, and they put Scott County on there, and they know R.L. Gibson, they got hired. Now, we didn't mean that every one of them stayed there forever or worked. Some of them failed, but most of them, and that's the same way with Campbell County. There's people right here in Campbell County, I guarantee you, worked at Levi Strauss when I worked at Levi Strauss, and they know me. And it doesn't mean that they all are the best. And it seems like whenever the Democrats are in, seems like we are working. And I know I don't get involved that much in social issues. But my belief is, if we have those laws, then we are to abide by those laws until they get changed. I think that Rudolph, whatever his name was, the one that because of abortion and killed those people down, innocent people in Atlanta, and set that bomb off, and he was doing it as a Christian. That's not Christian-like to me. A man should be put to death. But anyway, that's where I come from as far as being liking Bill Clinton like I did, or because I can remember things were good. Now, under Jimmy Carter, things weren't good. We had 21% inflation. Under Bill Clinton, with 2 to 3% inflation, people working, everything going good. And I didn't like the ending of his, because he actually caused Al Gore, which I liked Al Gore a lot, and I believe that some of the things that he believes as far as global warming, it's proven to be true. We're having some of the worst storms we've ever had. Just this last week we had the strongest winds and low pressure that's ever been recorded on the Pacific Rim. Never over 200 miles an hour. And we got another call here. You're on the air.
Can you go back to discuss about Amanda Salmon? Most of us aren't for sure what all's going on down there in Jacksburg. Can you bring us up to that?
Okay. You got any questions you want to ask? And let me bring up, I can try to answer what I do know.
No. I just didn't know anything was going on.
Okay. Basically, it's in the paper here that she had been sued because she had made some rulings on a child that was not within the realms of the law. And she had made some personal judgments, I guess, that the way she wanted it to be, she was took the court over it, and Judge McAfee, he ruled that she was in the wrong.
Well, it sounds like she's trying to be like Kim Davis up in Kentucky.
Well, here's basically this is what I know for a fact. When she was on my show here and she was campaigning, and she was asked about, in fact, I asked her, why did you decide to run for this sessions judge job? And she said, I've been in this area, I believe she said, now don't hold me totally to this, I believe she said, I've been in this area and I met my husband and I'm from the Memphis area, and I met my husband at UT Law School, and we live in Caryville, and I've been driving all the way to Claiborne County to do my job as a district or assistant, I guess, what you call one that where the judge assigns them, to a lawyer to people that can't pay. Whatever. Anyway, she said she was driving down through the valley, and she said, God told me I needed to run for this office. She sat here on this show, and when she was campaigning, she was asked by people that called in and said, how are you going to judge? And she plainly stated, God will be my guide. Several people called and said, what about what the law says? She never did back off of that, how she would govern, only that, or how she would judge, is God will be my guide. And
it sounds like that's what she's doing, is letting God be her guide, but what about these laws they're passing?
You can't blame her, because the people voted for her, and that's what they wanted. But still, whenever if she got outside that realm of the laws, that she was going to be taken down. Now, she's not been reprimanded or anything, but I'd say, being in that seat for less than, right about a year, she's not going to learn everything until people challenge her on the decisions she makes. And there's no question about it. She did not hesitate for a second. And in fact about it, after she had said it, Kathy, she and I were sitting here, and Kathy was coming on after she was coming on. Kathy Parrott. And she looked over at me and she said, how do I combat that? And I didn't answer. She said, I can't. Because I'm telling you, and I'm not saying this is anything against Samantha Salmons. I'm saying she knew. She's a very smart woman. That whenever she said that, the churches would be behind her.
And she knows how to word it, just so she would get.
No, there's no question about it. But what and I said that's the reason why right now with everything that's going on is scaring me to death, is because our churches is beginning to try to run our politics. And I think it's a bad direction. Because look at all these people where they kill people, they cut people's heads, but in the name of God, you don't believe the way I believe, I will cut your head. We've got people just like several people that's killed abortion doctors. Those doctors are within the laws of the United States, whether we agree with them or not. We don't have a right to kill them. And so we got people that's preachers, deacons, good people going out killing people because they don't believe the same way. But now, I'm a firm believer that if we are within the laws of America, and that's where we live, then I think you have a right to operate your life within those laws. And that's exactly that's where the problem. It's in the Christian Journal, and it reads all about it. But anyway, Mr. Hatmaker took it to court, Wes Hatmaker, and he beat her, and she had to withdraw what she had said to that 9-year-old and their family. And basically it had stated that she had said, mentioned about being poor or uneducated and this and that in front of that child. And so she withdrew that, and Wes was happy, and they shook hands, and everything might be okay now. I don't know. So anybody's got any questions about that, call me. And now, I can talk to you about any issue you want to talk about, but you're on the air.
Yeah, so I don't know, have you heard anything about a lawsuit in Clayton County on her over the same thing?
No, I haven't. But I do know that she did get the Christian vote big time. And she come from out of nowhere. I mean nowhere, to win the election big. And whenever she said that,
I seen her on your show.
She didn't run from it at all.
No, and I said, when she said that, I said, every church around here, church member around here vote for her.
And that's what happened.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Christianity is the best thing in this world, but there's a time and place for it, and the law of the land, the government laws and stuff, they have to be obeyed. If they ain't, we'll be just like them Hebrews across the waters.
Absolutely. You couldn't have said it, or I couldn't have said it any better.
Well, I mean, you can't make your own laws. That's just like these mayors are doing passing stuff that ain't even in the boundaries of the law, their rights to do. Nope. You gotta stay with the law no matter what. I don't care where it's at. If you don't, we ain't gonna be no better than them old boys across the waters.
Hey, have you been over at Razorback lately?
Yeah, and I went over at that guy over at that sports shop. I'm tell you what, he has got a selection out of this world. And I gotta go back over get my wife one of those Derringers for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Well, make sure you tell him you know me.
Oh, I did. I told him you were one. I said, I don't see if them prices as good as ours. He said, I hope they are. Hey, I tell you what, though, they're down to earth, folks.
That's what they're.
But they got some nice furniture over there too.
Yes, sir. They have. They sure have.
Yeah.
And they come in there from. I don't know why they moved down there. I read it from Corbin, Kentucky, about 10 years ago, I'd say, or maybe 15 years ago, and they just fit in. That's just plain as it can be. And they're just good people.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they've got just about any kind of weapon that a man wants over there.
Yeah, they got that one that's set on that tripod or something that shoots forever.
Yeah, it just keeps it shooting you. He wanted, I talked with him, and he wanted me to bring that gun of mine over because he wanted to see it. At Winchester, I got here, ain't never been shot. It's a remake of the 1845 model Winchester. And he hadn't seen one. He wanted to bring it over. He said, boy, you need to call Winchester and check on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I will. But I tell you what, he is, they're real. I mean, they're just right down to your level when you're talking with them, no matter what.
Absolutely. And I think the world of his wife, Judy. She's just so humble, and they they do something that I couldn't do. I couldn't work in the same room or building with my wife 5 days a week. Could you?
No. But they do a good job.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they really do. Has he been sick or something?
Yes, he's very sick, and I think that the biggest problem is his sugar is unreal. And now mine, my wife gets on me all the time, but mine it runs anywhere from 180 to 250.
That's high,
It is high. And I take 3 pills a day for it.
oh goodness. Yeah, I could tell he was feeling bad that day I was over, but he didn't let it bother his business part whatsoever.
And he has a little bit of heart problems too, but like I say, he's worked every day.
Yeah. I tell you what, anybody wants anything to hunt with, anything for home use or whatever, now he's got it.
He's got it too.
Yes, sir. He's got anything you want over there.
Appreciate your call.
All right,
thank you. Bye-bye. Now, I'm going to get back to Amanda. If anybody wants to talk about and ask any questions about Amanda, and you know, we back then we were, I guess, taping everything we did, and we got to where we did. And so I don't know right now where we still have a lot of those tapes, but there's nothing that you can disagree with when she said what she said. You're on the air.
I'd like to talk to you about Amanda. What do you think about it? You think she'll last 7 more years?
Well, I think that's a 6-year term, or is it an 8-year? I think it's a 6-year. 8 years term. I think that there's no question she will if she chooses to do so.
Well, she's got all of these cases pending in the Supreme Court. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. She's not going to get by with everything she's done. But nothing bad's going to come out of it.
Well, here's
people's not going to be treated like she's treating people.
And now the thing about it, that's what she said she would do. She did not. And the thing about it is like she don't answer to any of these judges. She don't. But she has to answer to the law. And
well, she's not doing that.
And again, I don't see her as being a dummy, so she'll have to start abiding by the laws more and let her own feelings get out of it, or she could be removed. But it's extremely hard to remove an elected judge. It's easier to remove an appointed judge than it is an elected judge. Okay?
Well, I think something bad's going to come out of it. I really do, because she keeps on removing these children like she's doing. They've been good homes just because she's got her little bad mood that day. And she talks to those lawyers and she downs those state people terrible. And you don't do that.
Well, evidently she's getting, but that's what she said she'd do.
So far she's got by with it. She's going to be the wrong one, and it's going to be, I think, something real bad's going to come out of it if she keeps up what she's doing. Because people's not going to stand her.
Well, I hope it gets done and get corrected, okay?
Well, I don't know. I don't see nothing good coming out of it.
Okay. Appreciate your call. I do believe that Amanda believes that she's doing the right thing of trying to be hard on some of these cases, because we have, how many people have we seen of all these things that's happened, and well, just like this little boy was set off here a couple weeks ago. Look at the little kid that was walking in front of Walmart down there, 6 years old, walking to school because his mother was, or somebody wasn't paying any attention to him, or something was wrong with him. I don't know what, but anyway. And then look at all the kids. I tell you what, folks, if you want to make a judgment on kids, you just go to Walmart or you go to any supermarket and you sit down on a bench and sit there for about 4 hours and start judging. And I'll tell you one of the things that bothers me the most, but ain't nothing I can do about it, or sometimes I'd like to, but when you see a kid come, 2 or 3 coming in with their mom or dad or whatever. And I'm not talking about dirty. I'm talking about rusty, where you see the elbows that hadn't been washed and the little feet hadn't been washed, or the hair hadn't been combed. Those kids are being neglected and probably being physically abused. They're probably getting smacked around all the time. And I guarantee you, in the summertime, you'll see those little barefoots coming into those places all the time. And I bet you anything that, let's just say 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5, is being neglected or mistreated. Because some of those actually would be just dirt, but a lot of them is where they probably hadn't taken a bath in a week or two, and their heads hadn't been combed, and it's probably some of them don't even have a bed to sleep in. They might be sleeping on a blanket on the floor. You're on the air.
Hey, big guy.
Hey.
You're looking good tonight.
Well, thank you.
That was a good discussion you had about Hillary Clinton there. Of course, you're a big Hillary supporter. You've always loved the Clintons.
Well, I just think Bill Clinton's the best president we ever had.
Well, what made him so good was we had Newt Gingrich as Speaker of the House and neutralized all that socialism. And we had 6 of the best years we've had in our lifetime.
But that's what I'm saying. Bill Clinton was smart enough to work with the other side.
Well, but what I'm saying is Newt Gingrich put a stop to Hillary's socialized medicine and all that other foolishness they wanted to do, and returned Clinton to his rural Arkansas roots and made a good president out of it.
That's good to hear from you. Say that.
That news that never would have happened.
But whenever it come to morals, Newt had less morals than Bill Clinton.
Well, now I don't know there. I'll tell you what. I would not want to get into a moralistic debate about those two.
I don't think either one of them had anything to write home about. Do you?
I think they both made their mamas proud. Hey, we had an interesting thing happen here recently. Last year and this year we've had significant tax increases, and our tax has gone up from about $1.74 per hundred up to near $3 a hundred if you count the wheel tax and everything. And we have one of the highest tax rates in Tennessee. And did you know none of the working people, the people who actually work in that courthouse and wait on us when we go down there, you know, to file papers or to get papers, the people who wait on us did not get 1 cent of that money? Not 1 penny of it went for raises for teachers or the employees at the courthouse.
I don't doubt that a bit.
That is game money. The road superintendent got a big chunk of it, and of course Jeff Follows charged the rest of it, and they're playing games with it already.
Well, I want you to check the tax rate for Morgan County. I believe that you'll see that you guys are just you might be half as high as Morgan County's.
Morgan County's not very high at all.
Oh, buddy, check it out. At one time, check it out. It was over $6.
What?
Yes, sir.
That'd be twice what we are.
Right, and it's probably might be close to that now.
Go on the internet and look at the tax.
Yeah, look it up and call me back and let me know for sure. I'm on a hard break here just in a second. But what happened was they had a vote to whether either centralize their schools back in, and they might have already back in the 90s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And they had to choose because they wanted to keep Coalfield, Oakdale, Sunbright, and Wartburg open. And they built a big elementary school at Wartburg. They redone Oakdale and Coalfield and Sunbright, and their tax rate went to $6, and I believe it's $6.07.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a shame that we have all these taxes, and it's not going to the working people, you know, the ones who actually do the work down the courthouse.
Right.
But anyway, you got a break, and
Yeah, check that out on Morgan County and see how as it went down in the end. Now that was
see if I can find that while you're on break.
okay. Thanks.
Okay, all right, bye.
If you want to hold on, we're going to break. Be back after these words from our sponsors.
You know, I talked with a lot of people this week that had that Medicare plan that was going away, and I ended up talking to them a little bit, and I found out that they've got the QMB. You know, it's a pink cardboard card that pays your co-pays when you go to your doctor. That pink cardboard card will entitle you to get the extra benefits you hear me talk so much about. And I've run across several people this week that got into their wallet, and lo and behold, they pulled out one of those, and I said, aha, did you know with the pink QMB card in Campbell County, you can get your dental and your vision catalog and a catalog to help you with your over-the-counter products at no cost. And that dental coverage is comprehensive. It's not just your cleanings and checkups.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to husqvarna.com for more information.
Welcome to RaisX. RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I've worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Okay, we're back. True Value Homes, bringing you tonight's show, and Ron's Golf Cart, and they're located here in La Follette, folks. He has North Face jackets, rain jackets, just a regular jacket, Ugg boots, all that stuff, and a great selection in his flea marketplace. And True Value Homes, just like I said several times, you know, Keith Klopfelder. Many of you know him. He's the manager over there, or the owner, or part owner, or whatever. So you all know him, you know how to deal with him. And he'll deal. He's a wheeler and a dealer, boys. I'm telling you, he will work with you. That's True Value Homes. Okay, you're on the air, sir.
Okay, yeah, I remember back in the good old days of the 90s, you know, President Clinton was doing his thing with Monica Lewinsky, and Hillary pretty much ran the country, so yeah, those were the good old days. But, you know, I was pretty young as a baby, too. But back to Amanda Simmons, you know, she can't keep doing what she's doing things her way in her courtroom and not obeying the law and expect, you know, not to get brought down, not to.
Well, now, I think that there's no question about it, and it's in the Christian Journal, and let me just see. It's on the front page, Judge Salmons. Okay, you can read about the judgment and what Dr. McAfee, or Judge McAfee said, and just get that, and he absolutely, and Wes Hatmaker, he was satisfied with the ruling, and like I said, you know, I've said it several times, I don't know whether you was listening tonight or not. She said that that's the way that she would run her courtroom. If she was elected, that's the way she would run it. And you know, the people that elected her can't run from the fact that she wasn't truthful with them. And so I guess some of these things, until she was challenged, she would continue to do them, I guess. But now some of the stuff that she's actually enlightening some people on, you've got to change what you're saying. Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Hey, Oakdale's up around $4.93.
$4.93.
Yeah, that's counting their city taxes. Jellicoe up here is about they're over $4.
Yeah.
But they had, I think the state come in and forced them to change.
Yeah. Well, now Oneida got a new school over there, and they voted to increase their taxes above the county taxes and state taxes an additional 50 or 55 cents, and so that schools are paid off. And so there's a lot higher. And like I say, I know that whenever I was a county commission, I know that Morgan County went to over $6 there for, I don't know how long, but that's been 20 years ago.
But isn't it horrifying that we've increased taxes now twice? Well, 3 times counting the wheel tax increase in the less than a year, and the people actually working at the courthouse, the schools, and everything, did not get any of that money as a raise.
Well, let me tell you something else.
No, did you know our road superintendent he paved Marie Ayers' road to her private property where her father lived, and they even had a gate over that road. But our new road superintendent paved that for her, and even though her daddy lives there, the property's in her name. And now he's paved the road for Dwayne Mailman Kitt. We renamed him Taxman Kitt because he votes for every tax increase down there. And he lives on Maple Road, and there's roads north of it, south of it, east and west, all around there. But they paved the road in front of his house. So our road superintendent, who's up for election next year, is playing games with this money. When up there at White Oak, there's roads that have 6, 8, 12-inch deep chug holes, and he won't go fix them. So there's people that testified down there in front of the county commission that those chug holes were destroying their cars. And Marie Ayers said, well, just, you know, like Marie Antoinette, you know, if they don't have bread, then let them eat cake. Marie Ayers said, we'll let them buy more tires. I mean, you know, it's really pathetic. You know, when our money, our tax dollars, they're playing political games with it instead of paying the people who deserve the money.
Well, you know,
our employees have not gotten a raise in 9 or 10 years.
Which ones?
Our county employees.
I thought you said that they got that money that...
No, the county workers, the people who actually work in the offices, got none of that money.
Oh.
They got no raise.
The outside work.
Or else their checks are going to be smaller because the insurance cost went up.
Yeah, I know.
It's horrifying that we raise, you know, our property values is going down, our average income is going down per household, our sales is going down, the population is declining, and all they know how to do is raise taxes. And then they will not give that money to the people that deserve it, who actually do the work.
Now, but now here's the thing that kind of concerns me about sometimes, not you, but the whole public out there. I get people calling from the other side. There's too many of them down there. And I've even heard you say this in the office of the finance director. There's 15 there. You don't need to be but 3, because you've researched all that over in Anderson County and Knox County, but there's still 14 down there. But if
they've had as many as 20 at one time. I think he moved a few of them around to hide them.
Well, then the one that went over and started.
They're the ones playing the games with the money. Marlowe is in charge of the money. The road superintendent gets a big chunk of it, and they're playing political games with this money.
But there's no question about it. They're moving it under one department, out of another department, this department, that they're still working.
But the employees did not get not even a 1% raise, nothing, to offset the increase in their insurance costs. It's just horrifying what they're doing down there. We need to vote that entire county commission, that road superintendent's up for re-election.
Right, you guys have turned your commission over, except 1 or 2 people in the last 2 elections.
Well, maybe if we keep throwing them all out every 4 years, maybe we'll finally get 15 or at least 10 that know they're there to serve the people and not serve themselves.
Appreciate your call.
They're serving themselves down there.
Appreciate your call.
Hey, thank you for taking it.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Yeah, I heard about this call in that Dwayne Hillman kids for paving the road up there. He didn't tell me to pay that road up there, matter of fact. And there's no big deal on that road besides Dwayne Hillman kids.
Now, wait a minute. You got to slow down, because, you know, I'm a Tennessee hillbilly. You was talking too fast.
Okay. I heard about it called in. That road was paid on Dwayne Hillman kids' road was paid.
Yeah.
Okay, they want people who don't Dwayne Hillman kids' road besides Dwayne Hillman kids. And in the meantime, the road superintendent, hey, Dwayne's going to pay the road, Dwayne's going to allow Dwayne's going to make this decision. I guess they complained about that deal. I'll take records there.
Okay. Appreciate your call.
Okay, so thank you very much. Okay, bye.
Okay. Yeah, there's someone defending mailman kits. But folks, I know it gets aggravating about taxes, but you know, if and most of your mayors and aldermen, they are pretty smart, and your tax assessor, that they get the state involved, and so you can keep the same property tax rate and your taxes go up for the simple reason that they appreciate your property value. So your property this year was, let's just say it was $50,000. Well, next time or within 6 or 7 years, they're going to reevaluate the property values. And along the strip down here, values over the last probably 20 years has probably doubled. But your property taxes hasn't. But they're bringing in double money over a 20-year period because they're assessing your property at $60,000 now, and you're still paying the same $2 rate or whatever. So they're getting their monies. It's just it's according to which way they get it. So I know I had a situation one time. I had 8/10 of an acre on Highway 63, about 150 feet, something like that, frontage. Nice lot. And that was 1985 or something like that. Now, right now, it'd be worth a whole lot more. But anyway, because that was whenever they was improving the highway through Scott County, 63 there. So they assessed that piece of property at $75,000. And because God, the taxes on it went sky high compared to what it was the previous year. So I go out and, you can request for reappraisal on your property. And there is a board that's all they do, is there's a board that's appointed to take complaints about your assessment of your property. And so I go out and I sat down with them and I said, listen, if there's anybody out there that that wants that piece of property for $20,000, send them my way. Because if you want that piece of property for $20,000, instead of $75,000, you can have it. And then you can sell it and try to get your $75,000 for it, because you can just have to pay $20,000 for it. Oh, we can't do. I said, well, whatever. You got to go back to the state. We can't decrease the assessment this year. You're going to have to pay what it was assessed for, and we can make an adjustment next year. And I said, well, I know I'm going to have to pay them one way or another, but I'm going to wait to the very last minute, and I'd like for you guys to work on it and see what you can do with it. And so anyway, they did come back with a $25,000 assessment, but I would take the $20,000 for someone, and they could have sold it for $25,000, got made a $5,000 profit. I'd have been happy to let them have it. But anyway, and we're talking about taxes. You have these people out here that's got this property and they never do anything with it. Well, right now is a great time. I mean, a great time to go over to True Value Homes in Huntsville. True Value Homes. If you have a deed for a piece of property, and you turn that deed over to them, but that's your deed and their deed. That's your property, and that trailer is their property until it's paid for, or the bank's. So whatever you do, that piece of property stands good for your home. You can't beat that deal, because there's too many people out there right now that could afford a house payment, but they can't afford $10,000, $15,000 a down payment. So right now at True Value Homes, you can do that. The number is 663-8633, and Keith will be there in the morning, and he'll work with you. So anyway, I got about 10 minutes left. I'd like to talk to Mr. Henson just another couple of minutes. And my old buddy that calls me quite a bit and gets on the computer and listens to my show, I'd like to hear from him for just a minute. I'd like to get his assessment too about the hearing, because the head man for the Republican Party, he said, now we would have had a much better and done a much better job if we could have done it under closed doors. You're on the air.
Hey, good evening, Mr. Gibson.
Okay.
What would you like to philosophize on?
I want to go back, and did you hear the chairman of that board to actually say that we would have done a much better job if we could have been behind closed doors?
I believe that statement was made.
So why could it been a different story behind closed doors if they hadn't planned on skewing the results?
I hadn't thought about that, but there is something that I kind of did catch to. Did you notice that when someone was asking a question, did you notice that Miss Clinton went through her papers while they were asking a question? Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Well, I noticed now, and see, this is where my debating and skills, I guess, negotiating contract. I also noticed that they had 7 people on the Republican side and 5 on the Democrat side, but while each one of those was questioning Clinton, and she's sitting there by herself, but she had her people behind her, you wasn't seeing what the other questioners were doing. They were also studying their papers and doing this, and they'd say, go to tab 31 or go to tab 63. And so while the other people was questioning her, she would evidently turn into tabs or doing something, or somebody behind her had shuffled through it and separated it and brought it up and handed it to her. But we did see her all the time, but we never seen the other people that was doing questioning on the same thing.
Okay, but now what time I got to listen to it, I believe it was about 2 hours. I heard her use she went to the same sheet of paper 9 times and gave the same answer.
I don't doubt that a bit, because she was being asked the same question over and over and over and over and over and over.
Well, anyhow, she had her answers written down, and as the person was asking the question, she was going through her answers to read, and she read those answers off. This one had to do with the emails or something, but anyhow, they would ask her a question, and she'd segue off into this back to this, but she read this same answer. She went back to it that many times.
Well,
she read the answer.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
She took a week off just to study.
Well, she took a week off to practice.
Yes.
And she was so well rehearsed in these answers, she would start right to reading that answer off. And in my opinion, what they did for that week, they set up a forum just like what they had right there, and her people asked her questions just as though they were the investigating committee or whatever it was.
Well, now
she was well rehearsed.
Right, because those questions, the basic same questions, had been asked 8 previous times.
Well, but here's the thing. She did not answer verbatim. She had her answers written down, and for any questions that came up, most of the time, she would file through this while the question was being posed to her. But anyhow, let me hit on one thing that on your straw poll that you had, I believe, last week. She got some very impressive numbers here locally. She's well supported in this area. By the vote that you got. But let me go back to one other question now. I'll surrender, but I'll quit.
Yeah, I got somebody else on the line, but I'm within 2 minutes of having to give up.
Okay, let me sign off then, and you catch your other callers.
Well, you call me next week.
I'll try. Thanks, sir.
Okay, see you, buddy. You're on the air.
Yes, sir. I wasn't particularly wanting to talk about politics.
Oh, okay.
Politics, if their mouth moving, they're right. It don't make no difference. Republican, Democrat, Independent. Republicans trying to prosecute the Democrats, and the Democrats trying to walk on water. It's just a bunch of crap. But anyway, what I was going to talk to you about was I was wanting to challenge all the Christians that are listening to your program to go out and get them a sign of the Ten Commandments and put it in their yard. I went and got one, and on my way up to Ralphboro, where I got my sign made, I saw a whole bunch of churches with trunk or treat, and I just got thinking, you can't see the Ten Commandments in the schools or the courthouses or around them or through them. You can't say pledge the flag because it's got "In God We Trust," and it's just that Christians.
Wait a minute now. Have you ever went to a county commission meeting down here?
Oh, well, yeah, that's one place they definitely need them.
Well, they say them. They say them every week, but do they mean them?
No, that's another thing.
And then in the courthouse and Huntsville, the Ten Commandments are in the courthouse. They're on the wall.
Oh, they need them. They need them there real bad. If they just any of them would actually read them now.
Yeah.
But it seems like Christians are being destroyed or attempted to be destroyed all over this world and in this country now.
Well, I will say this.
I believe that you have the right to do whatever you want to do. But I've never heard or seen any gay group go to a Muslim outfit and ask them to get married or to make a cake. And I don't believe you will.
Okay. I don't know what you mean.
That was just something I wanted to say.
Okay. Appreciate your call.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have no idea what that comment about make a cake. Evidently I'm still. But anyway, folks, don't forget my sponsors, True Value Homes and Ron's Golf Carts with and their indoor flea market. Riggs Drugs at Jacksboro. They have Humana. They're open on Saturday from 9 to 1. Go down and check them out. Greatly appreciate it. Good night, everybody. I'll see you next week.